Welcome students in our next class for the 12th CBSE, RBSE, NEET and the AIMS. Today our next topic is pollination. In last class we have to studied about the development of female gametophyte and then megasporogenesis. Till the megasporogenesis, in female flower embryo sac is produced, and in embryo sac the structure which is it is embryo sac, synagoid cell and then egg cell. So it is egg cell is the main gamete. After then in male the structure which is called anther, and these anther contain the structure is called pollen grain, and in pollen grain it contains male gamete and it is a female gamete. Clear? So it is a two part. Now after this process, that means the development of pollen grain or maturation of anther and then development of female gametophyte and then embryo sac, next step is pollination. So pollination means the process by which pollen grain transfer from mature anther to the stigma of female part or carpel. Again repeat the definition. The process by which pollen grain transfer from mature anther. When the anther become mature, how it is mature? It is mature after the formation or development of microspore. So it is called mature anther. So the process by which mature anther transfer from stamen to the stigma of female flower is called pollination. Now in the pollination, we will take as a subjective manner as well as the objective manner. So for subjective manner, we have to write the synopsis of complete topic. First is the definition of pollination. After then pollinating agents, that means the which agency used to pollinate of pollen grain. Third is the types of pollination. Fourth, adaptation of self-pollination, adaptation of cross-pollination and then method of cross-pollination. So these are the topics which related to the pollination. So in this topic, the first definition means the process by which pollen grain transfer from mature anther to the stigma is called pollination. Second, pollinating agents. The agents means which help in the travel of pollen grain, from mature anther to the stigma. In this case, either air or some other animals like insects, birds and then human being, all are involved in the pollinating agents. So it is called pollinating agents. Third topic, the types of pollination. So for types of pollination, we can take the ray diagram of types of pollination. So the type of pollination, first is called self-pollination, second is cross-pollination. So if we draw the diagram, of flower and then anther. So pollination means the process by which the pollen grain travel from anther to stigma. So here it is stigma and the structure is called anther. So it is the process is called pollination. Now first, self-pollination. That means the process by which the pollen grain travel from anther to stigma of same flower. Yeah. So it is the same flower stigma and then same flower anther. That time this type of pollination is called self-pollination. When it travel from one plant or first plant of same species and then travel to the second plant of same species, that time it is called cross-pollination. So the process by which pollen grain travel from the first plant mature anther to the second plant of same species stigma, that time the pollination is called cross-pollination. So in Cross-pollination, species same but plant different. But in self-pollination, same species and the same plant. So it is of further divided into two types, autogamy and then geontogamy. Autogamy means the transfer of pollen grain from mature anther to stigma of same flower. So we can write the same flower. Same flower of same plant. That time it is called autogamy. So it is a autogamy. Clear? So in this case, the pollen grain travel from anther to stigma of same flower. Now geontogamy means the transfer of pollen grain. The transfer of pollen grain from first flower to the another flower of plant, of same plant. Clear? So it is the same plant but flower is different, that time it is called geontogamy. If flower is same, that time it is called autogamy. If flower is different, that time it is called geontogamy. So we can write the different flower of same plant. Different flower of same plant. So it is called a geontogamy. So the self-pollination, the example of we can take autogamy is the pea plant and some other vegetable plants, and then geontogamy example is maize plant. So it is self-pollination. Again repeat, first is the definition of pollination and then types of pollination, in which self-pollination it is further divided autogamy and then geontogamy. Autogamy means the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of same flower. Geontogamy means the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of another flower of same plant. Example of autogamy is a pea and example of geontogamy is a maize plant. Now we take the next, which is cross-pollination. The transfer of pollen grain from mature anther to the stigma of another flower. So other plant of same species, that time it is called cross-pollination. So for cross-pollination it required some pollinating agents like air and then insects and then birds. Without pollinating agent, cross-pollination is not possible. Genogamy and then allogamy are the other term which related to the cross-pollination, in which the pollination between two different plants of same species. So it is the outline or ray diagram of types of pollination. Clear? So our next is adaptation for the self-pollination. Clear? Adaptation for self-pollination. So adaptation of self-pollination. We can take the adaptation of self-pollination means how self-pollination can be done in plants. So three things which is increase the self-pollination in plant. First is the bisexuality, means both male and female plant part on same thallus. It is a bisexuality. When it is a bisexual, that time the anther and then stigma, or we can say that the stamen and then carpel at the same position or same thallus, so it increases the self-pollination. So bisexuality increases the self-pollination. Clear? It is a very common in case of some vegetable plants or in pea. Second is homogamy. Homogamy means it generally present in same time maturation of plant. Same type maturation of plant. Same type maturation means that anther and then carpel both mature at the same time. That time it is called homogamy. In some other cases, when anther firstly mature, after then carpel is mature, so it is improved the case cross-pollination. But in case of self-pollination, homogamy improve or increase the chance of self-pollination. That means same type maturation of anther and then carpel, exact same time. Clear? So it is example of mirabilis, is the example of homogamy. After then, cleistogamy. It is a very rare type of adaptation in which flower is enclosed. So in stigma and then style and anther, it is to completely close every time, so it increases self-pollination. So it is an adaptation of self-pollination in which bisexuality means both male and female plant part present on same thallus. So it improves the self-pollination, it increases chance of self-pollination. Homogamy means if same type maturation, anther and carpel. And third, cleistogamy means the male part and female part, or we can say the flower always close every time of breeding time. So that time it is called cleistogamy. So it is the adaptation of self-pollination. In next video we will take the next topic, which is cross-pollination, adaptation of cross-pollination, and then different agency of cross-pollination. Thank you for watching my video, and if you like this video, please subscribe it and also share to the other students. Thank you.